He's like, guys, we're going to go to headquarters, and this is...
Vince is in the restroom, and he comes out from taking a piss. Watch. You can take away all the other cameos and just have Vince in every other room that they go into.
He could even have the doink.
And it'd even be better because it's like...
He has the doink wig on.
What the hell is he doing there? How'd he get there so fast? It's Vince. He beat them all there easily. You don't even have to think about it. In real life, you would expect him to beat him there.
That would have been so much better.
Oh, so much better. Moving on from the best hit, we went to Paul Heyman. I have on here, should have been a hit, but for me, a miss.
I always love a food fight. Plus, this was the only intergender segment of the night.
Shayna had a good old chokehold on Ray. There was two. The doink part, they had a little bit of an interaction, but I don't think it was just a little bit. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought they had a little bit of interaction. I could be wrong.
There also may have been a passing by in the hallway type thing, too.
Yeah, but I think you're right. I think actually physicality, this might actually be the only part. And I think it was only Shayna and Ray. Yeah,
no. Dana Brooke was made to look stupid, and Ray was made to look pathetic.
Yeah. But Paul Heyman, he's just sitting there getting ready to eat at this lavish table of food in an empty corporate headquarters when they know there's going to be a pay-per-view. For some reason has a smorgasbord all for himself. Makes no sense, but it's Paul Heyman and it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
And he starts and everybody runs in and they all stop and look at him and he's like, "Ladies and gentlemen, my name is," and then is it just Otis, I think, just grabs a sandwich and starts hulking out or something. Something happens to start a food fight.
Food fight.
Yeah, and it's your obligation those food fights and people such as Paystee and other people like it, and I don't.
Kevin Owens should have been hiding under the table.
That would have been great. I don't even dog the food fight part of it, but for a cameo, Paul Heyman could have had a better cameo, I think, than just starting his phrase and then getting cut off.
Just seeing Paul Heyman with the huge table of food was great.
That is great.
It did go downhill from there, but I can't hate that scene so much because I love the food fights.
So I surprisingly put a miss on Paul Heyman, but the next one that came up was Johnny Ace, and I surprisingly thought that was a good cameo.
I didn't see
I laughed. Johnny Ace comes up. Otis finds a second room full of desserts, and he's like going all crazy over to the dessert. He starts hulking up again, and then Johnny Ace drives a golf cart up, and he's like, "People power," as his saying was, or "power to the people," whatever it was. And Otis looks at him and grabs a pie and throws it in his face. Now, first of all, I love seeing Johnny Ace get hit in the face with a pie. I don't know why. It's better than the other people. For some reason, I liked this, and I didn't like the other food fight shit. It's taste. I don't know.
It's John Laurinaitis. Everybody hates that guy.
Exactly. But the other thing that I honestly loved was he threw the pie at him, and it wasn't one of those working pies. A working pie, folk, is a pie that's just crust and whipped cream. And that's all it is. And it makes a good splat, and you see it on the Three Stooges, and you see it everywhere, and cartoons always use it. This was like a legitimate blueberry pie with whipped cream on it. Because when he slammed it in his face, there was whipped cream, but there's also blueberries and runny shit coming down. And I'm like,
it was a worked
pie. That's a shoot pie. That's not a working pie.
Vince changed it out last minute and didn't say
anything. He probably did. Actually, if it was Vince, he probably would have put like sardines and shit. Like Mae Young's panties. Whoa. So for some reason, it's like comedy is about the details, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to me, the fact that it was a legitimate pie and not it was a shoot pie, not a working pie, just sold it for me. I don't know why. Maybe I'd gone so fucking batshit crazy from watching this much of it that my mind had melted already. I don't know.
Otis dropped all the gimmicked pies by accident, so they had to grab one off of Heyman's table.
Or I could start fat shaming him like they did to both Nia and Otis the whole time and say, he ate all the shoot pies. They really did just fat shame the shit out of him, but whatever, it works. And then the last cameo, and I don't know if you call it a cameo or not, but it literally came out of nowhere, no explanation, and there's probably a story to it that I don't know about. At the end, Elias came out and hit whoever was hit somebody on the Money in the Bank ladder match with the guitar.
I saw the
I don't know why.
aftermath of it, and I did not see who he hit.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I think it was probably Corbin because he's got beef with Corbin.
It could have been him. So that maybe would have been why.
After Corbin threw the people off the roof. I didn't even see people getting thrown off the roof either. It ended, and I was like, oh, it's over already? Kirsten was kind of watching it, too. And I'm like, did anybody get thrown off the roof? She's like, no.
You know what? That's funny because I listened to the 83 Weeks. Eric Bischoff does a recap with actually like a literary scholar. And they just started recapping some of these fun things. They did the Firefly Funhouse, and they both loved both of them. And they talk about the similarities to classic literature and classic movies and stuff. It's really a fun listen. But they were talking about this, and the literary guy's like, God, you know what? I think they threw somebody or a couple people off the roof. And Eric Bischoff's like, I thought that'd be kind of cool for them to do, but I don't think they did. I don't remember it. And then they're like, well, it's either shame on us for not watching, or shame on the directors for not really paying much attention to it or getting your attention. And since you said both of you missed it too, I'm going to say shame on the directors.
I think so.
A big thing like that should have been a big deal.
Well, they had Corbin do it, and anytime Corbin does anything, I'm kind of zoned out into something else.
I hear you there.
He's a great heel. Don't get me wrong, and I love him for the fact that he's a great heel, but he's so much that I just don't care.
So here I got one little gripe here for the very, very end of the match, and that is that on the ladder match, AJ actually took the briefcase off of the hooks, and he had the briefcase, but then he, whoopsie, kind of butterfingered it, like very obviously, and
Vince
dropped
is back
it.
In the football game, fumble rules have to play.
Right? But he dropped it to Otis, which is fine, and Otis won it. That's cool. My problem is, earlier when Asuka grabbed the briefcase, she was declared the winner while she was still holding it on the ladder before she. So it's either both feet have to touch the ring, or as soon as you unhook it, because they've had different rules either way. Sometimes it's both feet, sometimes it's on the, whatever they want to twist for the story. But when you have the exact same match going on at the exact same time and two different ways of winning, I didn't like that.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch the replays, because if he like unhooked it and fumbled it immediately as he unhooked it, I guess that's okay because he didn't have it firmly in his hands.
Maybe.
It's still really pushing.
It's still gray, yeah. So I just wish if nothing else, they had plenty of time between the women and the men. They could have just waited for Asuka to get down.
But how dare they be inconsistent when it's in the same exact match? That's stupid.
Yeah, I mean, they're bad enough at being inconsistent anyways.
Yeah.
Just at least have consistency there. But, wow. It sounds like we're the internet, we're just bitching to bitch, but it's really not.
No, I wanted to like it. I really did.
I went into it with an open mind. I liked the last two cinematic performances they put on, and I hope this doesn't kill them on cinematic performances. I hope it doesn't, because they've done good stuff, and they could do great stuff going forward.
I think this time they have to realize they threw too many people into a cinematic. Like, a cinematic needs to be a little bit more contained.
And it was a lot of cut between trying to do match-like stuff and trying to do cinematic stuff. It was kind of interwoven together inconsistently, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Match of the night. Gotta go to the Money in the Bank. I think it was the only time I was actually entertained.
I can't pick one, but I want to go with Drew and Seth just because that's the only one I've heard positive things about. But
I'm okay to just say that. We could
Drew and Seth?
That. Yeah.
I think we say Drew and Seth. It's the one that looks best on paper.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go Drew and Seth. Just because they deserve it, those two good fellers. This is Seth's this is his his congratulatory present from us to him. Oh, we can't talk about that yet, sorry.
Oh, no.
And final grade, I can only grade the Money in the Bank match, which I'm grading a D-, and that's giving an extra grade for effort. I wanted to give it an F, but I'm going to go all out and say with an empty arena, I don't think my grade would have changed even if I watched the whole show.
Yeah.
So I'm comfortable with saying that.
I wanted to give it an F, but parts of it made me giggle. So I'm giving it a D-. And that's having kind of seen most of the whole show, sort of.
Right. You know, it's another one of those things where, you know, for us not even wanting to watch the show, don't they lose some points for that too? So, I mean, I think the D- are warranted.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to call it when you call it too. I mean, we gave WrestleMania good scores because it deserved it.
We did. Yeah, and it was new. And even then we said it doesn't work, but they tried. By now, this has been 3 months since WrestleMania. 2 months, 3 months, I don't know.
This was Vince saying, oh my God, WrestleMania worked. Let's do it again, but completely my way.
Yeah. And it doesn't work.
And we totally wrote in 5 minutes a better way to put the whole thing together with Triple H setting it up and Vince not being aware.
Right? And you could have had Steph make her damn. You could have had the exact same Steph thing if you wanted to have Steph in there.
Yep.
You could have just kept it in there for no reason. Could have been her in the men's bathroom when Vince came out.
And then you should have had Shane on the roof, and Corbin goes to throw somebody off, and Shane's like, "Wait, no!" And then he throws himself off the roof.
Shane should have done a coast to coast off of it. Oh, they should have had him on a zip line. They could have shot it to where he
jumped off of one side, and then it cuts the camera, and he's jumps onto the other side, so he jumped around the world.
Sorry, that just tickled the shit out of me all of a sudden. He coast to coasted literally. Oh, that's fucking like. I don't. Oh, this thing rotted my brain because that was the funniest thing I've heard all fucking week, Paystee. And I'm picturing it in my head, and I'm picturing a still shot of him doing the Liu Kang fucking flying kick. just a still picture, not even him doing it. Just oh my gosh. Oh, that made it. That made the whole pay-per-view worth it. I'm almost willing to give it a better grade. I'm not gonna, but almost. Woo! Tears running down my cheek, Paystee.
I'm just saying, if you gotta do stupid ass pre-tape shit, do stupid ass pre-tape shit that people can appreciate.
We learned it from the yeah, we learned it from the delete shit. Yes. You know, it's like you can go all out, but do it fun.
Yeah.
And some of this was fun. We talked about it. Some of this was fun, but the only stuff that was fun was half of the. And maybe not even half of the cinematic shit. But the whole match itself was just boring.
I don't know.
Boring.
Do they next pay-per-view, do they try to do the whole every match as a cinematic thing, but its own thing, not all at the same time?
Wasn't it WWE said they're doing their next... Oh, SummerSlam. They said they're going to do SummerSlam even if it's in September.
Yeah.
That'll be an interesting SummerSlam, September.
They are just
so it'll be interesting. And I would buy SummerSlam in October, December if they waited until there's fans. I'm okay with that. I like it. We'll just see what happens going forward. I'm not going to tune into the weekly shows, so I won't know what happens going forward. I'm running out of weekly shows to watch because all the taped ones are running out of stuff. I wish somebody would just come up with a fun show premise that maybe didn't even have to have in-ring action. Paystee, that would be awesome.
You mean like Billy Corgan?
Well, Billy Corgan, he could do something like that possibly. Why do you say that? What brings up that name?
Well, he has done just that. As NWA owner, Mr. William Corgan announced a new series called NWA Carneyland. Carneyland will premiere next Tuesday at 6:05 p.m. Eastern on the NWA YouTube channel. This is the normal time slot for the weekly NWA Power series. Corgan added that under no circumstances do they want to fold the promotion, no matter how tough and difficult things get amid the COVID-19 outbreak. Instead of folding, they've come up with this new Carneyland show.